Greetings comic book fans and welcome to Dude's Comic Haul for the second week of June 2015. I'm Jason. This is my weekly video where I share with you the brand new comics I picked up this week. This week I've got 18 books that I picked up. I know I spend a lot of money on comics, but the way I look at it, I don't really have any other vice. You know, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, don't go to strip clubs. Yeah, there's no real other vices that I have, so I just rock the one vice I've got really good. And I don't know, could you call comics a vice? I don't know. Anywho, so let's get into the books. 3 books I got were not on my order with my comic shop. Those were, we have Batman Superman issue number 21. I thought this was on my order, but obviously it's not. This introduces the new Batman to Superman. Both of them have been through changes, so this is going to be interesting. The Bruce Clark dynamic has always been one that's really interested me, and I think when it's written well, because there's not many people Bruce really lets in, and Clark is one of the few. Even though he doesn't trust him with totally everything, but he is one of the few, and they've got a very unique friendship. So yeah, how's this gonna work with these two characters? And it also continues the Truth storyline. I thought the Truth story was going to be kind of like an event that was going to run through all the books, but I think it's more a general outline of like a story. I don't think it's actually like an event that carries on from issue to issue. It's just a general theme that they're all following. I listened to the Comic Vine podcast, and that basically was what Tony Guerrero was saying. He'd spoke to the writer of this, Greg Pak, for an interview, and it's not, you don't have to buy every single issue to understand the story. But I kind of wanted to get this because it would be interesting, that dynamic now that it's somebody else's Batman. And will Superman know? Because I know he hasn't got all his powers, so will he still be able to like have X-ray vision and find out who the Batman is? Then I picked up Earth 2 Society issue number 1. When this first came out, the original Earth 2, when James Robertson was writing with Nicola Scott on art, I really liked that. For the start, while I love Batman and Superman, they're great characters, it was really cool seeing a world without them and seeing how different this world is, and with these other heroes kind of coming along now and stepping up after like all what had happened on this planet, where they'd gone through this 5 years of this apocalypse war, and you know, the Trinity had to sacrifice themselves to stop the war, and now these new heroes were coming up. I really liked that. It was a story about hope, and I liked that. I liked these characters and these, you know, so I was really enjoying that. And then I don't know if it would have gone that way if Robertson had stayed, because it was already heading in that direction. But yeah, they went through this whole thing. They brought in a new Batman, they brought in a new Superman, and then all the hope that we had got crushed, and the world got crushed as the apocalypse war came back, and that world was destroyed. And I didn't read it to the end because it was no longer the book. The aspects of the book I'd enjoyed had kind of gone, the whole thing of hope. Now, after the events of Convergence, they've got a new planet. The survivors of Earth 2 have got a new planet, and they're setting up home. And this is where, like, this is either going to be a really dull book about people setting up, like, life on this planet and all politics and that go with that, or it could be a really interesting book. So I'm very intrigued with where we're going to go with this. So I thought I'd give the first issue a try. We then have Inhumans, Attilan Rising, issue number 2. I enjoyed the first issue of this, so I'm back for the second. Some of the books, you know, that they're doing for like for the Secret Wars are kind of like continuations of storylines, previous storylines, where others are kind of reimaginings, and this is the one that's a bit of a reimagining, which is always an interesting kind of thing to do. Now the rest of these books are all off my order now. So we've got Robocop issue number 12, which is the final issue. Sadly it's coming to a close. Josh Williamson's done a great job of getting the tone of the first movie, the original movie, and it's been pitch perfect in that way. And the story's really built well to like where the characters that we've been following now and the story we've been following really feels like it's coming to a head. So Sad it's finishing. I'd love to know if this was always going to be a 12 issue series or if the sales are maybe not so good. But yeah, looking forward to getting into that one. We then have Batman issue number 41. I'm not completely sold on the new Batman. I don't like the look, and I'm not completely sold with the identity of the character who is now Batman. He's going to be a very different Batman. So yeah, there are those things I'm a bit unsure about. But it's Snyder, it's Capullo. They have just done so much awesome stuff with this book in their previous 40 issues that I'm willing to give them benefit of the doubt and to see where this goes. But yeah, not completely sold on it yet. We then have Batman Detective Comics issue 41. A bit narked that they've got rid of the special cover. This is just the normal cover. They usually have that like smooth glossy cover, but they've got rid of that now. Yeah, it's still the same price. It's going to be interesting because this book, pretty much since Manapul Bushalalo took over, it's been very much a book that has a lot of Harvey Bullock in the book, and I don't mind that. I think that's a really nice kind of thing. He's been a big part of it as well as Batman. So that's been good, and I'm going to be interested to see. I don't know. I think from the preview we got, I think Bullock knows the identity of this Batman. So it's going to be very interesting where this is going to go and how his relationship with Batman is going to be different now going forward. So looking forward to that one. We then have Constantine the Hellblazer issue number 1. So I'm looking forward to this. I've never read the original Hellblazer series. However, I read it in the New 52. I liked him in Justice League Dark, especially when Lemire was writing that. I really liked him in that. And I read his old book for a bit, but I fell off it in the end. I think there was what was that event called now? That was basically a prelude to the whole Crime Syndicate story, Forever Evil. But they had a story before it that ran through the Justice League books. Was it Trinity War? That was it. I remember going into Trinity War, I was reading like Justice League Dark, Justice League of America, Justice League, I was reading Constantine, I was reading Phantom Stranger, and I came out of that event only reading Justice League. That was the effect that event had on me. But yeah, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Constantine here. I like the creative team. It looks a really interesting creative team on the book. I like Rosmo's art. I remember he did a book for Image. Can't remember the name of it now. It was about a serial killer who is now trying to be a hero and help catch villains rather than be the villain. But yeah, this has been a really good character, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it now that they're relaunching it. We then have Birthright issue number 8, which I just love this book. It's just brilliant, and I really like that cover, so bright and striking. Yeah, I like that a lot. Another one of my favourites is Black Science issue number 15. This will be near the top of the books I read first. I bloody love this book. It's been a great series, and I'm always excited when it comes out because I love to see, because you know, Remender is just so crazy. He'll do anything and you don't know, and some of the things that they've done in this book have been shocking, and and at the moment it feels like we're changing pace from where originally like the whole concept of them trying to get back home, and now it feels like the agenda and the mission is changing. So I'm really intrigued to see where this is going to go. We then have the final issue of Chrononaut. It's a thicker than usual issue. Yeah, I've been really enjoyed this. It's really played with your expectations. And the first issue I thought was a really great setup. The second issue just went crazy and I didn't expect where it went, but I loved it. Third issue was everything going wrong and everything crashing down. This is now the conclusion as they wrap everything up, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this is all going to work out. This has been great stuff. We then have Descender issue number 4, which I've been loving this series as well. So I always look forward to this. So some really good books this week. There's so many real books that I'm like really excited to read. We have Nameless, issue number 4, which is just one of those books. Some books I can lie on the sofa while my wife is watching her soaps and I can be reading my comics. And then there's some books I have to read when with me in my bedroom, alone, so that I can concentrate. And this is one of those books. You need to kind of be concentrating on what's happening, because, you know, Morrison sometimes can throw you those curveballs and you're like, I don't understand this. You feel really stupid. But it's an achievement when you actually get to a point where you understand the story. So yeah, look forward to that one. We then have Saga issue 29. This will be near the top of the pile. I always love my Saga, and this really feels like it's building up. All the storylines are kind of building nicely, so look forward to that. We have Spider-Verse issue 2. Kind of had mixed feelings about the first issue, but I'm back for the second. I don't want to be as impatient as I have been in the past. I kind of look at books like Justice League, like Spider-Woman, that I've stuck with and that have turned around and become really good books. And I kind of think sometimes I give up on books too quickly. But part of that is just that there's so many great books out there that if you're reading a book that isn't doing it for you, there are so many alternatives you can read instead. So there's that whole kind of deal, which kind of pushes me towards dropping a book quickly if it's not doing well. And maybe sometimes I should be more patient. So I'm been a bit patient with this, because I did love the original Spider-Verse event, so I'm hoping that this series is going to be good. A book I'm really looking forward to this week, it is Weird World issue number 1. Super excited for that. We have Silver Surfer issue number 12, another book I'm really enjoying. So this has been so much fun. I've really liked that. We have Doctor Who issue number 11, which I believe this could be the start of a new story this week, so that will be interesting. And finally, we have from Valiant, we have Unity issue number 19, which is part 1 of his new story, Warmonger. I remember the last issue you had that woman who wanted to start a war, so it'd be interesting where this goes. But yeah, those are my books for this week. I'm super excited to get into those. Unfortunately, I usually do my my Clash of Kings, show you how far I've got in that book. I'm up to 200 and something now. I think it was 230, but I'm not sure. But I will have that with me next week, so you can see how much I've come along with that. I don't know when my review video will be up. I'm off today, and then I've got 3 days off, and then I'm at work for 5 days. Now in the next 3 days, I've only got my comics today. I ain't going to read all of these and record a video in 3 days. I'm not even going to try, because it's just going to be insane. So at some point early next week there will be a video, but I don't know which day. That's, you know, I don't know what day yet. Hopefully, you know, I'll be able to get to it sooner than later, but there will definitely be a video. At the moment I don't know when. Anywho, so that's pretty much me done. I'm going to go now, get a nice cold beverage and sit and enjoy these comics. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you've enjoyed this, you've given me those beautiful thumbs up. And all that leaves me now to say is that I've been Jason. This has been Dude's Comic Haul. Bye for now.